watching Mirror now. I'm Mamata Balachandra. Let's take a look at the top headlines. Mirror Now Mega Exclusive. We access the DM's report on the Gorakhpur massacre. Report says negligence claimed the lives of 63 children on the 11th of August. Incriminates BRD hospital authorities. Admits to laxity on the part of doctors and hospital authorities.
जो हमारे पास रिपोर्ट आई है वो nobody has complained that we are short of funds या हमारे पास ऑक्सीजन की सप्लाई में कोई दिक्कत है वो हमारे पास कोई रिपोर्ट नहीं आई है
22 letters addressed to the hospital authorities and state government, yet the health minister says the government was unaware about the crisis, but Mirror Now has accessed proof of the government's doublespeak. Nearly 12 days after Varnika Kundu was stalked in Chandigarh, a minor girl allegedly raped while returning home post Independence Day celebrations. Indigo air hostess from Shillong found dead outside an apartment in Kolkata. Police claim she allegedly fell from the third floor of the building. 2 people detained for questioning. After vandalizing Hindi signages, pro-Kannada activists now targeting Tamil hoardings. And Independence Day signage in Tamil vandalized in Bengaluru. And after eating up parks, grounds and bus stops, the latest Indira Canteen encroaches upon the Subramanyapura Lake. Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi launches the Karnataka Government's flagship program. Blue whale suspected to have claimed another life. Parents of the 16-year-old who committed suicide claim the teenager hung himself to complete a challenge in the deadly online game. And with the number of H1N1 deaths in Uttar Pradesh touching 695, state government asks schools to stop conducting morning assemblies in a bid to prevent the spread of swine flu. Straight up to our continued focus, criminal negligence claimed the lives of 63 children on the 11th of August when oxygen supply was cut off. We've been saying this from day one, and now the official probe report has reiterated the same thing. The official probe conducted by the District Magistrate of Gorakhpur has revealed laxity on the part of doctors. Mirror Now has accessed that explosive report that incriminates the authorities of the state-run BRD hospital. The report clearly admits that the stock of liquid oxygen had been alarmingly low for a couple of days before the tragedy. It also says that senior officials of the hospital should have made arrangements to ensure adequate supply of the life-saving gas. In the meantime, the situation on ground has not changed one bit. Aishwarya Palawal, who's been tracking the story from day one, gets us more details.
What the government is trying to do is that pin the blame on 2 people. The report which the DM has now submitted says that the principal of the medical college, Dr. Mishra, and the head of the anesthesia department, Dr. Kumar, both of them were not present during that night, and because of that, so many children had died. But what other resources and what other sources are telling us is that it was a collective failure on the part of the administration. There were many reminders being sent from the company, but none of those reminders were paid heed to. Now, what the Health Minister of UP, Siddharth Singh, said today was that we were not informed. Now, this is a stand which the authorities have taken, and this is a stand which the state government has taken. They keep on saying that we were not informed about it, we were not informed about lack of funds, or we were not informed that the hospital was running low on oxygen. But the documents that Mirror Now has accessed clearly negate what the government is trying to say. The company Pushpa Sales, which has been supplying liquid oxygen to the hospital, clearly sent 40 reminders, and the mails which were sent from Pushpa Sales to the authorities and hospital were also CC'd to the DM of the city, which clearly means that the authorities and the state government were in know of exactly what was happening here.
Now, 20 letters and 2 notices were sent by Pushpa Sales, the company supplying oxygen to BRD Hospital, highlighting non-payment of dues. These letters, mind you, were addressed to the hospital dean, the health secretary, chief medical officer, Gorakhpur district magistrate, principal secretary and the director general of health services. And all of these letters were ignored, but The Uttar Pradesh Health Minister is now feigning ignorance. Siddharthnath Singh categorically stated that the government was not informed about the disruption in the supply of liquid oxygen nor the lack of funds.
नहीं, अभी तक जो हमारे पास रिपोर्ट आई है वो nobody has complained that we are short of funds या हमारे पास ऑक्सीजन की सप्लाई में कोई दिक्कत है, वो हमारे पास कोई रिपोर्ट नहीं आई है। ऑक्सीजन जो सप्लायर था और जो बीआरडी कॉलेज के लोग थे उसके अंदर इसको लेते हुए जिस प्रकार से संवेदनशीलता होनी चाहिए, क्योंकि इट्स अ लाइफ, इट्स अ इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग। कोई ऑक्सीजन के कारण किसी की डेथ हो जाए तो ये तो जघन अपराध है, मतलब ये छोटा अपराध नहीं है, इट्स अ ह्यूज क्रिमिनल ऑफेंस। तो वो नेग्लिजेंस इज ऑल्सो सीरियस ऑफेंस।
The explanation from UP's health minister has come after a complaint was filed against him by one of the victims. Listen in to the complainant.
हम आए हैं, बच्चे यहाँ पे एडमिट किए थे, ऑक्सीजन के कारण हमारे बच्चे की जान चली गई।
कब एडमिट किए?
10 तारीख को रात में 3 बजे आए थे।
और कब एक्सपायर हुआ बच्चा?
11 तारीख के रात में बताया कि 11 बजे की एक्सपायर हो गया।
आप थाने पे क्यों आए?
हाँ?
थाने पे
आए हैं, जो इसके दोषी सजा है उन पे केस करने के लिए।
किसके ऊपर केस करने की बात?
केंद्रीय सचिव है उन पे और केंद्रीय एक है शिक्षा स्वास्थ्य। बच्चा था 7 तारीख को जन्म हुआ था, उसके 11 तारीख को एक्सपायर कर दिया। सर हमको जब देखने के गए 9 बजे तो कह रहे हैं कि सही है, जाइए आराम से सोइए। एक बैग फिर न्यूज लगा के कहें कि मैनेजर सुनीता ऊपर आइए, आपके बच्ची सीरियस में चल रही है। फिर 10 मिनट बुलाए तो कह रहे हैं कि एक्सपायर हो चुकी है।
कितने बच्चे मरे होंगे आपके सामने?
हमारे सामने तो लमसम 30-40 बच्चे मर चुके थे, अब बॉडी भी नहीं दे रहे थे। और भी औरतें हमारे जैसे भाई सब रो रहे थे।
In the meantime, Congress workers staged protests in Gorakhpur demanding the resignation of the Chief Minister and the state's health minister.
जो जांच होनी चाहिए, ये सबसे बड़ी जिम्मेदारी मुख्यमंत्री की है, जिनका गृह क्षेत्र है, जिनका ये गृह क्षेत्र है। मुख्यमंत्री भी हैं, मुख्यमंत्री झूठ पर झूठ बोल रहे हैं। अभी तक एफआईआर नहीं की है, हमारे साथी वहां लगे हुए हैं और आज हमारा एक शिष्टमंडल एआईसीसी का वहां पहुंचा है। पुलिस प्रशासन को देखो, उनकी आंखों में कहीं ना कहीं हमारे लिए दर्द है, हमारे लिए हमदर्दी है, हमारे लिए नहीं बल्कि गोरखपुर के उन मासूम बच्चों के लिए।
On to news from Bengaluru now, where toxic lakes Bellandur and Vartur are frothing yet again. Foam has built up over these lakes after heavy rainfall and sewage blockages. Yesterday, citizens in the city were severely inconvenienced by flooding due to heavy rainfall. Water entered into their homes and started the saga of frothing on the lakes all over again. Authorities in the meantime have assured action several times, but no change is visible on ground.
In fact, the torrential rains lashed Bengaluru on the intervening night of Monday and Tuesday, and people, in fact, could see that their houses were flooded, the streets were flooded. But also we understand that people living in Bellandur, in the vicinity of Bellandur as well as Vartur Lake, they did see frothing. A huge amount of froth was spilling onto the road. That is definitely causing a huge problem for the pedestrians as well as the motorists. Now, we do see the children walking around in that particular area. There is a school in that area, very much in that area. Also, residents who continue to complain, what they're telling is that the stench emanating from that particular lake, in fact the Vartur as well as the Bellandur lake, is pretty toxic. It's very acidic and makes it unbearable for them. Also, they say is they are prone to a lot of respiratory diseases. But remember that the National Green Tribunal had taken up a suo motu against both the lakes, rapping the civic bodies for not in fact taking up all the measures so that they can ensure that the lakes are protected. However, so far what we understand, the steps taken, the short-term measures taken by the BDA, who is the custodian of the lake, is the beading. But however, that has also not completely finished. We do understand that there are 20,000 tons of weed in both the lakes. Now, that definitely is a daunting task, is what clearly the BDA is saying. Now the work on, especially of removal of weeds, is still on, after which the aerators will be installed in both the lakes so that it can improve the oxygen level of the lake. Now coming to frothing, now one of the reasons for frothing is because of the phosphates in the detergents. Now according to Karnataka State Pollution Control Board, what they're telling is that they have done all that they can, so that they have asked all the industries, the 95 industries operating within the vicinity 5-kilometer radius of Belandur as well as the Vartur lake, to stop polluting the lake. They have also seen, this is according to Karnataka State Pollution Control Board. Now if that is what clearly they are claiming, this definitely does not present for an impressive report card, is what we must say, because if that is the case, if Karnataka State Pollution Control Board have taken action against the industries, definitely this frothing wouldn't have happened. Now what we are seeing, every now and then there is a spell of rain, completely both the Vartur as well as the Belandur lake froths.
Also in the news now, a 12-year-old was raped in the heart of Chandigarh while returning from Independence Day celebrations in school. The assaulter allegedly held the child and threatened her with a knife before raping her. A case of kidnapping, wrongful restraint and rape has been registered, and a medical examination of the victim has been conducted. Now the police are checking CCTV footage from the area to identify the accused.
इसमें हमने एफआईआर रजिस्टर कर दी है, रेप, पॉक्सो और इसमें हम लोग मतलब अननोन आदमी हैं। अभी हमने कुछ लोगों को जो सस्पेक्ट्स हैं उनको राउंड अप किया है, फर्दर इन्वेस्टिगेशन भी चल रही है। जो नेसेसरी फॉर्मेलिटीज है, मेडिकल है, 164 स्टेटमेंट है, वो सब हमने करवा दी और आगे की कार्रवाई के बारे में आपको दोबारा।
सर धाराएं कौन सी लगी, अंडर विच सेक्शन?
363 है, 376 है, 4 पॉक्सो एक्ट है।
Once the culprits are caught, there will be a process of judicial process, and I hope that the girl will be called only once. Her 164 will be taken. We have to look into answers for that, why girls are still being taken for granted and why such insecurity for young girls who are coming back from Independence Day celebrations.
In fact, people in Chandigarh have taken to the streets to protest against the government's inaction as crimes against women continue to rise.
कल के स्वतंत्रता दिवस के दिन चंडीगढ़ के अंदर एक नाबालिग की किस तरीके से स्वतंत्रता छीनी गई, किस तरीके से उस लड़की का स्वतंत्रता दिवस के कार्यक्रम में जाते हुए उस लड़की का सुबह 8 बजे बलात्कार किया जाता है। उसके बाद पुलिस द्वारा कोई भी आरोपी को गिरफ्तार नहीं किया जाता। इसलिए हम लोगों ने आज यहाँ पर प्रोटेस्ट किया है कि जल्दी से जल्दी पुलिस आरोपियों को गिरफ्तार करते हुए सख्त से सख्त उन पर कार्रवाई करे और चार्जशीट जल्दी से जल्दी कोर्ट में जमा करवाए।
हम इस केस के बारे में बहुत सारी टीमें हमारी बनी हुई है, राउंड द क्लॉक हम इस काम पे लगे हुए हैं और हमारी पूरी कोशिश है कि इस केस को बहुत जल्दी आपके सामने लाइए। मैं अभी इस पे कुछ कमेंट नहीं करना चाहूँगा। कुछ लीड्स हैं, जैसे आपको कल एसएसपी सर ने बताया था, उससे आगे मैं अभी कुछ आपको डिस्क्लोज नहीं करना चाहता।
Moving on now to the controversy surrounding the Indira Canteen mess in Karnataka. Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi has launched the state government's flagship program to provide subsidized food in 101 canteens. These will serve fresh, hot lunch and dinner. However, the project is shrouded in controversy. After eating up parks, grounds and bus stops, the project is now set to encroach the Subramanyapura lake in Bengaluru. Activists in the meantime have slammed the Siddaramaiah government, accusing them of violating the stay by High Court order.
As I walked in to the first Indira Canteen, I noticed the words of a famous Kannada poet, and he had written over there, "There is nothing more than food. The entire world runs on food." And I think this is a fundamental point. Indira Gandhi ji spoke about roti kapda makan, and it is very important that every single person in this country has a full stomach. So I'd like to congratulate the Chief Minister and the other people on the stage, the Congress party, and all the people who have conceptualized this program that is designed to make sure that not a single person in Bangalore goes hungry.
101 Indira Canteens which have already been open to public have been set up in some of the major areas where, you know, people are middle class and they are not, if clearly the Karnataka-led Congress government, if Siddaramaia's flagship project, if he's really had to say that he is catering to the poor and the labor class, well, clearly it doesn't seem so, because where the locations that they have chosen clearly doesn't look like that, because we do see in the locations where they are well-to-do of families also. In fact, one Indira Canteen is also been set up near the IISc campus. Now, why is that is the question. What exactly is the reason behind where Chief Minister Siddaramaiah has chosen these kind of locations? Now, not just that, we also understand that they have encroached upon especially open spaces, playgrounds. Also, we have seen people, residents up in arms questioning the Congress-led Karnataka government on what basis clearly are they acquiring the land and they're building the Indira Canteens. If they really have to cater to the poor people, if they really have to alleviate hunger, especially in the urban class, now clearly this is not the answer to it.
On to news from the city of Mumbai now. Doordarshan anchor Kanchan Nath's husband is set to file a petition in the Bombay High Court over the death of his wife. The anchor's husband alleges that even a month later, the police have taken no action. He also said that the police denied filing an FIR of criminal negligence against Deepali Kaur, horticulture assistant at the BMC. To remind you viewers, the former DD anchor died after a tree fell on her last month.
The incident took place on Thursday. The very next day, Friday, the husband of Kanchan, Rajat Nath, he went to Chembur police station, requested that you please file an FIR. They said, no, we are investigating and then we will see what can be done. Next day, she passes away. We gave letters to the Additional Commissioner of Police in charge of the entire eastern suburbs, Mr. Lakshmi Gautam. No reply from him. Before that, we went to the Deputy Commissioner, Mr. Uma, gave a letter to him also because Chembur Police comes under him. No reply, response from him. Finally, gave a letter to the Police Commissioner. No response from there. And Mr. Rajat Nath, his son Prince, both of them, there's a huge signature campaign. More than 300 people have signed a petition to the Chief Minister requesting him to order Chembur Police Station to file the FIR. CM also promised Mr. Rajat Nath and his son Prince, yes, we'll look into, we'll do that, all those things and all that, but nothing has come out of it. Right. So now we have absolutely no choice but to move the courts to get justice. From January 2017, right, Mr. Avinash Pol, Secretary of the Nearby Society, has been begging, pleading and cajoling Deepali Kaur, the horticulture assistant, please give us permission to cut the tree. Right. For 6 months, nobody bothered to do that. Right. So this is
now when are you planning? Right. You rightly pointed out that you will be moving to the High Court. Now you'll be filing a petition. When is that likely to take place?
See, we are. I'm waiting for a couple of exhibits to be kind of attached along with the petition. Once the exhibitions are in place, we hope to file the petition this week itself, and we'll also mention it for an early hearing. And let's see how things kind of play out. But we are very confident of getting justice. But like what I said, registering the FIR is only one part. We also want action to be taken against the cops concerned for not registering FIR in a cognizable case.
Well, the same progress since 1947. Nothing really has moved in the positive direction. We first approached my dad. As soon as this incident happened, my dad met the senior inspector. They refused to file an FIR. Then we went to the ACP, to the DCP, and recently, not just recently, quite a few days back, we met Mr. Fadnavis, the CM, and we haven't seen any progress yet. So it's very appalling to see that not only it is negligence or their duty, but also in solving a case, there is not just negligence, but a lot of lethargy. And that's very appalling as taxpayers and residents of a country of the largest democracy, that there is no value for life left anymore.
In fact, Mirror now spoke to one of the residents of the area who claimed that despite repeated requests to cut down the tree, they were denied permission.
Actually, we are given to the complaint to the disaster management. The disaster management, the people from those inspectors or inspection people came here and inspect the tree, and then they found it is in a good condition. Then nothing has happened. Then again we are complained to the disaster management. That time that lady came for the inspection, and she says it is in a very good condition, and they given a written letter to us that it is in a very good condition, no need to cut down, just trim the some leaves of the coconuts, and that can be taking care of everything. So there's nothing will be happening to the tree. So as such, from their point of view, it is in a very good condition. For next 10 years, it will be nothing to be going to be happen to this tree, basically. But we are repeatedly asking them to please give us a permission for cut down, because on the road it is on risk to the anybody's life, and I clearly request them to please give us a permission for cut the tree.
That's right, it's been over 25 days now and there has been no progress or action against the BMC staff of criminal negligence in the late Kanchannath's incident, where a coconut tree fell on her and she succumbed to her head injuries. This incident happened on 20th of July last month, and ever since that the family members of the late Nath have been running from pillar to post, meeting the cops, meeting the BMC officers, and also they met the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Devendra Fadnavis, who had promised that an investigation and inquiry against the BMC staff will happen. But ever since that, no word from any of the government officials on this. And when we spoke to the family members, what they even told us is that the police also have categorically denied to file FIR in this case of criminal negligence against the horticultural assistant, Dipali Kaul, and the immediate supervisors. Nothing has been done on ground, and now what they told us is that the last resort is they are moving to the Bombay High Court. A petition will be filed by end of this week against the horticultural assistant Dipali Kaur and even the immediate supervisors. They even demand action to be taken against the police officials who failed to file an FIR again on this particular case. And what we understand is that repeated letters and requests were sent to the BMC from January this year to July. They also did pay a visit, but they say what they told us that this particular tree is healthy and it will last for 10 years, but that clearly did not happen. And now what we understand, the family members, they demand that justice should be given, justice should be made to the late Nath, and a petition on this case will be filed by end of this week. This is Isha Shah for Mirror Now.
Also in the news now, the state of Bihar and Uttar Pradesh are grappling with floods. Here's a look at all of those developments. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has conducted an aerial survey of flood-affected areas to know which areas are the worst affected. The Chief Minister surveyed several flood-affected districts and reviewed the ongoing rescue operations there. He's directed the DM and Chief Medical Officer of the district that there should be no shortage of medicines in the hospital, stating that all of the things people need have to be provided. A bridge was destroyed due to floods in Bihar. Continuous rainfall in the region has made living extremely tough for residents of the area. The floods have caused a lot of harm to human life and property. Blocked roadways have halted transportation. Bihar Deputy Chief Minister Sushil Modi reacted on the flood situation in the state of Bihar. He has stated that the armed forces have been brought in to rescue people by air and to fasten the process of helping people get out of a grave situation. That's a wrap here on this bulletin. Stay with Mirror now for more news and updates.